really appreciate it. I'm Vinny Thompson from AskVinnyThompson.com. And I'm here to bring you some news that during this worldwide pandemic, people are still living in homes. They still need to purchase and they still need to buy. We are big proponents at telling your story. And I know there were big headlines saying that Chase, which is their prerogative, they're the big boys, said that they want 700 credit score and 20% down.
That's correct.
Yeah, and it's very important for me as a realtor, right? I think referrals are important, very important. So I don't want the narrative to be for the people who don't know to say, oh my God, I can't buy now because one bank said this is their requirement. And because it's so big, you may think that's a general overall requirement, and that's not true, right? So some people sell socks, some people sell hats, some people sell shoes, right? And you got to make sure the loan you get fits you. So I like when I meet somebody who wants to buy or sell, and they come to us as realtors first, because we have relationships with banks that can do many different things. So people like Fernando from Quick Funding can help you out where maybe one bank says no, or maybe you just don't fit their criteria. It doesn't make that bank good or bad. You just don't fit into the product that they have when it comes to making the sale. And it's important for me to also say that during COVID, sales are happening. Well over 100 homes closed today in the Queens, Nassau, Suffolk border. Over 200 people listed their homes in the past 3 days. So the market is moving, and it's important to know this is a health crisis, not a housing crisis. Yeah, did we pivot? Yeah, we did. Today, I was very fortunate, got the green light on one clear to close. And I'm actually, you think you see me, but I'm virtually at a closing because I have a house that's closing like right now, but I'm not there. The only thing I got to do is look out for the mailman to make sure they got my check because the market is still moving, unbeknownst to popular belief. I just want to make sure to say that. And so it's one thing to hear from me because I'm always running my mouth, but it's more important for you to hear from somebody like Fernando that can tell you about the financing options that you may have. He's a trusted friend, known for a long time, multilingual, can definitely help you. Fernando,
okay,
take it away.
Okay, hi everybody. Okay, my name is Fernando Lopez. As Vincent say, I work for Quick Fund. We are mortgage bankers, direct lenders. It's true, you know, a lot of information was in the media about the financing. It's true that there were some issues on the way, especially when, you know, this announcement with the forbearance started. A lot of banks and investors got in panic because people stopped making payments. But honestly, I see that people start to get information about what is the forbearance. You know, it's not really money that they don't have to pay. When they realize that there is money that they have to pay, you know, those people, they say, okay, then forbearance is not an option for me. In reality, forbearance is an option for those people that, honestly, they cannot make the payment, okay? But, you know, it's a lot of people that they can make the payment. Now, as weeks passed, you know, the information was absorbed, things changed, but in the beginning was tight. Now, as you know, more information is coming, you know, on the media into the market. And also, I'm going to tell you, it's good the job that the realtors did these days, informing, you know, people is that they don't have to stop making payment if they can make the payment. It was a lot of help, believe me, a lot of help, especially taking consideration that if you are in forbearance, you won't be able to refinance until you put, you know, your, you know, numbers up to date with the lender. Because something that I just want to tell you guys, in the forbearance, the credit company doesn't report you as a late payment, but they report you with a code that is called AW. That is like an assistant disaster program. If you go to refinance, a lender pull your credit, they see the AW, immediately they know that you are in forbearance, meaning that you are in delinquency. You are in delinquency with your loan. A lot of people get scared now because they say now the opportunity to refinance. I say, listen, maybe I'm back to work in 1 month, 2 months, and as soon as I get back, I'm going to refinance to lower my payment or to do a debt consolidation. And that information changed the market. You see now more purchase contracts coming into the market because it's finance available. I'm going to tell you the truth. Everything is still on the table now.
Right.
It's a quick fund we're still doing. Conventional loans, FHA loans, FHA 2 or 3K loans, the rehab loans, and also we got, the non-QM loans, the stated income loans. Everything is still available.
Let me stop you right there, Fernando. You said a lot of things. I want to make sure we slow down a little bit so people understand what it is that you're saying. I think it's always good to stay in relationship with your mortgage broker, banker, and who you do business with, because they can help you with information and the noise that's out there. So it would have been great when you have your mortgage banker or your finance person like Fernando. Fernando helped you get a home. Something happens in the county like this, or you have some issues. You don't go by what Joe and your neighbor and what the media said. Hey, Fernando, please tell me what's the real deal on what's going on with the market. I have some money. It's in a 401k. I feel like I don't want to pay. Should I pay? Is this forbearance true? Keep these people in your pocket. Your trusted realtors that are going to tell you, beg, borrow, steal, you should pay that mortgage. You mentioned FHA, right? So if I'm ready to qualify, I want to buy a house right now, Fernando. Correct. How much money, what's the least amount of money right now during COVID I can put down on the house?
Nothing changed. You can go as low with 3.5% down payment and a purchase 1 to 4 family, correct? It have to be primary residence, okay? You can go with, if you go with 3.5% down payment, you need to get at least minimum 625 score. But let's say somebody has 585 score. You can still get in financing, but instead of 3.5% down payment, you have to go with 10% down payment. Okay, that is it's a little more complicated because it's manual underwriting. Correct? When you go with 580 and 10% down payment, it's considered like a risky loan, but it's doable. Now you got 620 up with 3.5% down payment. You can buy a property, a 1 to 4 family, according to the limits of the area that you are, located. Appraisals, we're still doing appraisals. This weekend we did, a lot of appraisals. We schedule everything, between the realtors, the homeowners, everything went fine, perfect. Closings, we're still doing closings in a secure way too. People go to closing, usually we take, the ones that they have to sign more documents that are the buyers in 1 hour, an hour later the sellers. We try to limit them out. Listen, we try to coordinate to make this, in a smooth way that nothing change and we can continue doing business.
That's right.
I mean, listen, it's getting adjusted, but like you say in the beginning, it's going to be day after day, it's going to be better and better and better and better. And you know what is the key word here? That when people back to work, it's going to be more and more potential, purchasers, buyers.
Sure.
That's it.
Sure.
Now we are going, through tough time, but listen, we are better than a month ago.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
From now on, it's going to be better and better and better. And I think a lot of people realize, those that are renting now, correct, realize what has been, a homeowner that got a place, that you got a backyard, you are not limited with the space. So now they're going to think twice. They're going to say, listen, I think I'm going to buy a house now. I don't want to go through this situation anymore.
And I know
a building.
Sure. For now, you talk about being grateful for, what you after a while think is a small thing. I don't have a big house and I don't have a small house, but I know if I was ready to buy and I had an apartment, I'd be sick of that apartment. If you just had a couple of rooms and I could afford everything, and I was ready to go, I certainly would be thinking about that. Like, look, it's time to go. I've been cooped up here. I'm ready to go. And even just some homeowners in their regular home are probably sick of their own homes. I've been cooped up here for 2 months. I'm ready to go. You mentioned jumbo loan, right? That was like the big thing with investors. Oh my God, jumbo loans. Tell us a little about what a jumbo loan is and how they can be done now.
Okay, listen, we got three type of, we are actually regulated, correct? And exist three type of, of amounts that we can actually do it. There are a small amount, there are conforming limits. And then, we are in New York, this is considered, a high cost area, and then, it's a high balance loan that we can go above of the conforming limits. And then when you go above of the conforming limits, you go to a jumbo loan. Okay? Now, when you go to a jumbo loan, we are talking about more than, up to $1.5, $2 billion properties. Now, our price range here in New York, I would say between conforming, high balance, and jumbo, we are right in the middle. Most of our business is high balance, and I would say some areas conforming limit, meaning that even if we are, in conforming high balance limits on the loans, we are okay here in New York. It's a normal loan. It's not a problem to get the financing. Okay? And besides that, believe me, the agencies, they increase the loan limits for 2020. And the new limits are very good, with the new home prices that we are handling here, in New York.
Right.
I mean, this is really not a problem. Right. The only thing that I see, the only thing that I see a problem is that people are unemployed. It's the only problem that I see. After that, I think we're gonna back to normal. People love to buy houses. They know that a house is a secure, investment. It's better than to get the property, your money in the bank.
Yeah, sure.
It could be ups and downs, but you know what? The appreciation of the property is gonna be higher than the money that you can get in return, getting the money in the bank.
And not to mention, it's something where you and your family have to live. Now, you mentioned credit, and I'm just trying to, because I do a lot of seminars, and in my seminars, I kind of keep it real simple because I know, Fernando, you let me know what you think about this. It's so individual of what that person may need. I keep it bare bones and try to get them in contact with the mortgage professional sooner than later. When I know I have an idea what they make, if they're making close to $80,000, $90,000 a year, if they have some savings, I get an idea. And I get hit with the question all the time, I have some credit issues and I've been going to, credit repair. What should I do? And I say, look, generally speaking, the credit companies that do credit repair, they're into helping you with consumer debt. My feeling is the holy grail of credit is for home purchase or business. And I say contact a mortgage professional that can also help you with you may think is an issue.
That affect, your FICO went down 30, 40 points.
Right.
Then we have to see how we put the FICO score up. I mean, I call those potential buyers that they are in nursery. I say,
Right.
listen, you're going to be in nursery for 1-2 months. This is the homework, and we're talking 2 months.
A bambino.
And, when everything back at 2 months, I give you your pre-approval. Go with the realtor, you got the green light, and then you can buy the house.
Right.
This is actually the way that most of the bankers we work. I mean, I always suggest what you say to people. Talk to the expert, talk to your banker, because you know,
Right.
we can give you the right information and the right steps to do to put your credit in track. Because like you say, a
Right.
lot of people say, no, my brother, no, my neighbor, no, I know a friend that worked with me that did. I mean, every scenario is different. Every scenario is different.
Absolutely.
I mean, you
Hmm.
cannot compare your, you know, your credit with somebody else's credit. Or you cannot say, no, they bought it with this, because you don't know. I mean, you are in a specific case and we are going to have to treat you according to that situation. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's all about, you know, the information. And I try to get that information out to as many people as I can so they can make the best choices, right? And it seems like every time I do a seminar, these Zoom calls, I say, Fernando, you and I know, especially here in New York, where things are so expensive. People work so hard for their money. They got one job, they got two jobs, they got three jobs. You know, one family had 7 jobs for 3 or 4 people. But when it comes to making sure their finances are protected, not so much. And they really need the good information from the well-intentioned people to help them with these big purchases, from the realtors, from the mortgage professionals.
Yep, because it's a lack of financial knowledge.
Right.
That's why it's important to talk to the right people, to get the right information, to put the energy in the place that you have to put the energy. Don't waste your energy, because if you diversify your energy, the results, you know how they are coming. You need
Right.
to be focused, and in order to be focused, you need to uh, follow or the steps, you know, that the consultant told you to. In this case, you know, if you have to pay this credit card down, how much? You have to do that. If you have to apply for another credit card, apply for another credit card. But that has to be coming from an expert, that they
Right.
know what they're doing. Because
Right.
nobody, I mean, listen, nobody wants to, you know, want to waste time. We want just to, you know, work productive. You know, they say, okay, listen, if you are not ready now, you're going to be ready in 30 days. You're going to be ready in 60 days. But we
Right.
need to work as a team. Why? Because the realtor is waiting for you. They won't show you properties until they know that you are okay. And they are waiting for the green light of the bank. Then they give you a pre-approval. And because as soon as we give you the green line, let's say we know in 45 days, you got the house, you close, and that's it. Everybody's
And
happy.
and also the reason why I like, so your official title in lending is what, Fernando? Like, what would they call you? A mortgage what?
A mortgage banker. I mean,
How's
we
that?
are mortgage bankers. We got the mortgage loan originators,
Right.
senior loan officer. I'm a
Right.
branch manager. I got a lot of titles.
Okay. All right. So as the mortgage banker, how are you different from other banks? Let's say, you know, the big banks or brokers or whatever. How are you different, and how do you do things different?
Well, as a banker, you know, we are a direct lender. Actually, we lend the money. We found the money, correct? We are a bank. We are not waiting. We are not doing like for example, a broker do. They sell a mortgage for the bankers,
Right.
or the banks. They got a lot of bankers, and they put your deal in different place. You have not much control over there. With a banker, you got a lot of control. The only product that a banker sell is mortgages.
Right.
If you go to a bank, correct? Let's say you go to Chase. Chase is not the only product that they have. Is not only mortgages. They're gonna sell you credit cards, checking accounts, saving accounts, IRA,
Right.
a lot of stuff in the package. Our niche as a banker is only mortgage. It's the only thing that we do. We
Right.
specialize in that. And we actually try to put the deal together because, listen, we're going to fund it. I
Right.
mean, we want just to say, listen, if this is a potential buyer that we see that really qualify, is serious, you know, with his finance and everything, because we don't want to put somebody in a position that they cannot afford the mortgage. We just have to be responsible, you know, that these people, they're going to be able to pay the mortgage.
Right.
Usually, this is a scenario, Bill. You need take in consideration this. I always tell people, listen, you qualify, let's say, for $500,000. No, but you know, I got a cosigner that can help me out to sign. You know, with that cosigner, I can go to $800,000. I say it's okay, but in reality, the money or the income from the cosigner is coming really into the household income.
Right.
No, the only income is coming is yours.
Right.
I mean, when the bill is coming, in reality, you don't have the money to pay this. I mean,
Right.
you need to consider everything. Probably you can actually get rent from the property. It sometimes happens that, it happens, that let's say the husband is legal and makes the money. The wife is not legal or is in the process. We cannot put her on the loan, but she's working and she's making money.
Right.
Okay, I can understand. We can put a cosigner replacing the wife income, correct? I say, listen, this is what we can do. We can make the deal work. We replace your wife's income, with, let's say, your brother's income, correct? Now, eventually, when she becomes legal, what we can do, we can refinance and put everything in order. You and your wife in the loan, and we remove your brother that helped you in this time, for the purchase, of the property. But all those things, we have to take, and see very meticulous, because we cannot put, debt on people that they cannot afford it. You understand?
Sure.
And the bankers, we can be creative, but we need to know the risk too. You understand?
Sure, of course. Of course.
Otherwise, then later on, we deal with the problem.
Sure. That's the key. And there's one more point I wanted to ask you before I let you go, in regards to you mentioned a bank having many products. So if you told me, Vinny, I have $100 million property in Manhattan I want you to sell, I said, you know what? I need help because that's my specialty. It's not my specialty.
And that
Yes.
give a peace of mind to a lot of people, because I know there were a lot of people saying concern how they're going to make the living, from now on. But listen, this won't last forever. This is temporary.
Right.
Okay.
And let me ask you a question about being temporary. Let's say I had job X, and because of the COVID, people pulled back. They said, "Oh my God, let me hunker down. I'm a business owner, and I had to lay somebody off, and they cut the unemployment." But then as things get better, they call me back. How does that affect my ability to buy a home?
Actually, not at all, because we got a lot of those cases now. A lot of people that were in contract, and then they cannot provide more pay stubs. Say, what happened? No, I mean, they let me, they put me, and I have to go to unemployment. My boss told me to go to unemployment. Okay, what we did, at that time, we contact both parties, both attorneys, and we express, we mentioned to them what happened. Now we say, listen, the buyer wants to buy the house, but now it's an unemployment, like a million of people. But eventually, when they're back to work, we have no problem, as long as they show to us, pay stubs that they're back to work with the same income than before. We can close the loan. The loan is not dead. It's just temporary, it's freeze, because we cannot move, the file until people back to work. They have to be able to pay the mortgage.
Right.
But that situation that you tell me is not a problem, actually. Even the people are in unemployment now, when they're back to work, it's okay. If there is a gap of income, we can actually see that through the unemployment. People, they were not making more because they were getting unemployment. But we can actually see on that, on the line, of the time, when people back to work, they start to get income and everything back to normal, like in the normal process.
Perfect. Fernando, I think that's about it, man. You're very thorough as usual, and I can tell you, Fernando's a straight shooter. I have some of my own finance issues, and I was trying to get him to help me. He says, Vinny, I can do a lot, but I can't do magic. But we're working on a few things. Then they call it Majica in Spanish. And Fernando, he is bilingual. And what language do you speak, Fernando?
I only speak two languages. My mother tongue is Spanish. I'm from Argentina. I speak Spanish. English, since I'm living in the United States. my my first
Perfect.
house now, my
So
first home, United
if
States.
you need them,
Yes, actually, guys, you can actually reach me.
all right,
I
now
mean,
that's
I'm
what
in
I'm talking
social
about.
media. I'm in social media. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. All my information is over there. My cell number is 917-418-9402. You can call me anytime. I'm working from home now. Hopefully, we're back to the office soon. But we're still active. Any question, please feel free to call me. Okay?
Absolutely, and working safe. Like I told you, Fernando, I had a house where we were in contract. It went through. I think the buyers met. The buyers went to the attorney's office. Actually, my seller is already, in the South, and she's just waiting for her check. The buyers are happy. I've dropped the key off. The house is vacant, and we're just working safely and virtually.
Listen, we actually being very, honestly, under this pressure, we are very creative. You see how we find a way to make things work. That's a
Yeah,
good thing. Imagine now, listen, if we actually went through all of this and we see the light that things are going to be better and better and better, I think our third and fourth quarter is going to be wonderful.
absolutely. And everybody's going to get the help they need. Fernando, thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me, okay? Thank you.
All
Pleasure.
right. Thank you.